Are the Denver Broncos actually a good team, or is it just fluky early season success? The only reason why I'm considering this is because of their defense, and obviously nothing to do with Bo Nix and that offense. So let's really break it down and see if this team is actually good, or are they just pretenders and just have gotten pretty lucky the past 3 games. So they started off the season 0-2 with their opener against the Seahawks, lost a pretty close game on the road. Their defense got 2 safeties that game, and that's the first thing that really jumped out at me right away. Week 1 was, okay, this defense might actually be legit. And as of right now, the defense ranks in total yards 3rd, passing yards 5th, rushing yards 10th, and points tied for 2nd. So it's easily a top 10 unit right now, more like a top 5 unit. And that's why this team could potentially make the playoffs. Now in week 2, they played the Steelers home opener, kind of a close game there at the end, but again, that offense looked brutal. The defense did their job, but offensively, not much to really show for. But in week 3, that's where they kind of got my attention and got everyone else's attention as well. Went on the road, played a good Buccaneers team in my opinion, and they really destroyed them the whole game. Defense still looked amazing, but this time the offense kind of came together. Bo Nix had a pretty good game, the best game of his career thus far. Then the following week, that ugly New York game, somehow got the dub. Again, defense is the trend here. Defense got the job done. Bo Nix put together a good drive, only had 60 passing yards, but still, a dub's a dub. And then just a day ago, beating the Raiders at home. Defense, Pat Surtain, pick 6, Moss, first interception of his career. They just have a lot of speed out there, and Bo Nix put together a somewhat good game. They put up 30 plus points, so when a team puts up 30 points, you can't really complain offensively, and I know that's partly due to the pick 6, but still, 30 points, 30 points. So yeah, man, it's been about 9 years since the Broncos have made the playoffs, since their Super Bowl run, and it's been long overdue. It's one of the biggest playoff droughts in the NFL. I believe the next closest playoff drought is the New York Jets. So this team is definitely due to make a playoff appearance, and I feel like they have a fairly good shot at achieving that this year. Even if you look at the state of their division right now, I feel like the Raiders are kind of free-falling with Antonio Pierce, Devontae Adams, and them turning to Aiden O'Connell. That team is just kind of unreliable and untrustworthy going forward. Who knows, maybe they could get hot. Maybe Aiden O'Connell can finally get things going down the stretch, but until further notice, you kind of got to throw the Raiders out of the equation. In the AFC West, the Chargers have a lot of question marks. I feel like their run game is definitely legit. Their O-line, of course, A-plus group right there. I like their defense for sure, but Justin Herbert and their offense as a whole still has some question marks to me. And we'll get some of those answers this week when they actually play the Broncos on the road. That 4:05 window should be a very, very fascinating game. And I feel like if the Broncos are a legit team this year and a playoff team, they'll get the job done against the Chargers. The Chargers are actually coming off a bye, so I know that definitely helps them for just that extra prep time for the Broncos. But still, Justin Herbert has been banged up since training camp, and you mix up a banged up quarterback against one of the best defenses in the NFL, plus you're playing on the road. I just like that matchup and spot for Denver a lot. And I really want to see Bo Nix have 2 good back-to-back games. I know that Jets game is kind of a throwaway game where it was just pouring rain, tsunami type weather, I guess. I'll give him a pass there. He's a rookie QB, whatever. But back-to-back home games for the first time in his career. It'd be great if he could replicate his success here from a week ago, but we will truly have to see what happens. If he can come out and look good against the Chargers, which I think is definitely very possible, I feel like this team is definitely a playoff team. Like I said, man, you have a good defense, anything is possible. Defense wins championships, even in today's NFL where it's just offensive based and all of that. It doesn't matter. Defense still wins championships. So definitely a huge week for them, another good test, and if they do get the dub, that would put them to 4-2, and they're right there with the Chiefs right now, man. And that's another thing about why I think this team could be a playoff team. The Chiefs are very vulnerable right now. I'm filming this a couple hours before the Saints game, so we'll see what happens there. I feel like the Saints have a good opportunity to give the Chiefs their first loss of the year, so we'll see. But I really feel like if the Broncos can keep this up, they could at least maybe compete for the AFC West crown. I know that may sound bold, and they haven't won it since their Super Bowl year, I believe. I feel like they can get it done just because the Chiefs are going through a lot right now. And not only that, but on their way to the Super Bowl a year ago, they didn't have the best regular season. They still finished atop of the AFC West, but that's just because the AFC West hasn't really been competitive the last 2-3 years, not putting together the best teams. I mean, come on, bro. The Chiefs lost to the Raiders on Christmas a year ago. I think they can be had in the regular season, 100%. So with that being said, I feel like the Broncos do have a chance to win it this year, the AFC West. Let me know if y'all think this is a crazy take, or do you somewhat agree with it. After the Chargers game, they have the Saints on the road, Thursday Night Football, Sean Payton's return to New Orleans. Huge game right there. Not sure how I feel about that one. That might be a tough, hostile environment, but we'll definitely see. And then they have the Panthers at home. So, really, I would be happy if they went 2-1 in the next three. I feel like 3-0 is definitely a possibility, but I'll take 2-1, and that would bring them to a 5-3 record to start off November. And a 5-3 record, it would definitely be in the playoff picture. I know it's really early to be talking about playoffs, but at the same time, I feel like it's not. The NFL year goes by so quickly, and you really have to take advantage of these early weeks and get as many dubs as you can. Just look at the Bengals, man. Blowing that game against the Patriots, blowing that game against the Commanders, and now they're 1-4, and playoffs seem like miles away. So I feel like it's never too early to be talking about it. So yeah, man, let me know if y'all agree with my take. Do you think the Broncos can compete for the AFC West this year? Do you think this is a playoff team? I know Bo Nix hasn't looked amazing consistently so far, but just give him a bit of time. I feel like he has the potential to be something for sure. Let me know in the comments. If you made this far, please subscribe. It'd help out your boy a lot. And yeah, man, that's all I got for right now. Peace.